Little houses can equal big profits. And I'm going to give you 7 reasons why I think small houses are good investments. Hey guys, what's up? Paul Price here. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about buying little houses and making big profits. About 10 years ago, I bought my first single family house, and it was actually a pretty small house. It was only 1 bedroom, 1 bath. It was about 600 square feet. And prior to that, I bought some multi-family properties, and this was my first entry into a single family house. But I only paid $15,000 for this little house. It needed some work, and I went in and started remodeling the house, and I ended up having a lease signed on it even before I got done with the renovations. In fact, that tenant that I leased it to is still there today, been there over 10 years with me, which is a long-term tenant for me. And you know, she doesn't have a huge amount of rent. It's only $475 a month. This property is paid for and it cash flows well, so I get an income stream from it every month. I know this may not be very exciting, little 1-bedroom house, 600 square feet, $475 a month. Not a big deal. But let me tell you, if you can buy multiple of these houses, you can build a strong and stable investment portfolio. And that's what I've done. I have many of these houses now, and I think of it more of like the game of Monopoly, where you buy the little green houses and you start out with those and you get 4 of them and then you can trade them in and get a hotel. The same principle applies here in real estate investing. If you buy these small houses, at some point you can sell them and maybe trade up to a bigger house or in a nicer neighborhood or whatever you want to do. You have options down the road. So first let me define what I mean by a small house. When I say small house, I'm talking about a 1 or 2 bedroom house, usually with 1 bathroom, less than about 1,000 square feet. And there's a lot of these houses out there. You know, right after World War II, we had all these returning GIs coming back from the war. They were stationed overseas and they came back. They wanted to get married, settle down, and start a family. We had a huge housing shortage here in America, and in order to fulfill the need for housing for these returning military men, we had to start building these houses quickly. And so they came up with these little boxy 4-room designed houses. I mean, you had a bedroom, kitchen, living room. It was, and then right in the center was like a hallway and a little bathroom. And that was it. It was a pretty simple design for a house, and they built thousands of them all across the country, and they sold them as fast as they could get them built. And so we have a lot of those here in my city, and I'm sure they have them everywhere across the country. I've seen them just about everywhere I've been. And they're just little 4-room houses, and they built thousands of them. And the thing is, now they're all older homes. They were built in the late 40s, early 50s, and these are older neighborhoods, and they've become somewhat less desirable because they don't have some of the amenities that new houses have. Like they don't have laundry rooms a lot of times, they don't have second bathrooms. So people kind of overlook them. And there is a kind of a secondary market there that's for working class and lower middle class housing. That's a need that's being met there with those houses. And you can pick these houses up for really low rock bottom prices because many of them need repairs and they're just older homes in older neighborhoods. So what I recommend is drive around some of these old neighborhoods, see if you can find any of these older houses that might be in need of repair. That's where you're going to find the best deals. And if you have cash, you can really get a great deal, because buying with cash gives you a lot more leverage in negotiating. You know, it's all about the numbers. That little 1-bedroom house, it only rents for $475 a month, but that's $5,700 a year in rental income. If you take that $5,700 and divide it by the $15,000 purchase price, that's a 38% gross return on investment annually. So every year I'm getting 38% of my money back. Let me give you another example. I also have many 2-bedroom houses. and those rent for an average of about $675 a month. And on average, I paid around $15,000, give or take a little bit, for most of those houses. So about the same price I paid for the one bedroom. So let's use that number. If you say $675 times 12, that's $8,100 a year. You divide that by the purchase price of $15,000, that gives you a 54% gross return on investment. So you can see these are big numbers for little bitty houses. So, and I have paid cash for these houses, so there's no mortgages. All I have to pay is the taxes and insurance. So the cash flow is much better on these houses as well. So let's get into the reasons why I think this is a good deal. Reason number one, small houses are more affordable. These little houses are usually so inexpensive you can probably purchase them for cash. And I have done that many times. In fact, my average cost to buy these houses is around $15,000. It's a little higher recently, but I have bought them as low as $11,000 and paid as much as $23,000 or $24,000 for some of the ones I've bought recently. So depends on the market, but you can find them very cheap, and if you can pay cash for them, you're going to have a huge advantage. Reason number two, paying cash allows you to get better deals. When you bring a cash offer to a buyer, it's a more attractive offer to the buyer. They know you can close quicker, and they also know that there's no financing contingencies that can blow the deal. So they know you're probably going to end up closing the deal and doing it quickly. So it makes your offer way more attractive than someone who has to go to the bank and get financing. Reason number three, no mortgage payment. If you pay cash for these properties, you have no mortgage. That means less expenses, more cash flow, and more return on your investment. Reason number four, they're abundant. Most communities have plenty of these houses that were built right after the war, and though they are no longer in favor like they used to be, they're not as popular because they're kind of a box with, you know, just 4 rooms in them, and they're very cookie cutter and they all look about the same, and they don't have some of the same amenities that the newer houses have. Like they only have 1 bathroom with, you know, a second bathroom's really nice, and they don't have laundry rooms most of the time. So those things kind of have made these houses fall out of favor with actual home buyers. But for rental properties, they are a great investment, and you can pick them up at bargain prices. You just need to drive these neighborhoods and look for the ones that are vacant, abandoned, the ones that look like they need some work. Find out who owns them, and those are the ones where you'll find the best deals. Reason number 5 is they're inexpensive to renovate. If you're dealing with a house that's only 800 to 1,000 square feet, the price to renovate is going to be much less. You've got less walls to paint. You've got less flooring to put down. You know, if you have to put a roof on it, the roof is smaller. Everything's smaller. So those keep the cost down. And you only have 1 bathroom to renovate instead of 2 or 3. And you only have a small kitchen in most cases with very few cabinets. So that kind of keeps the cost down. So when they're cheap to renovate, that's twofold. Because if you're buying one that's in need of repair, you come in and fix it up that first time, it doesn't cost you a whole lot to get it up and running. And then if someone moves out and they damage stuff, say the flooring gets damaged or something, it's not real expensive to replace the flooring and to paint the walls and things like that. So even the maintenance costs ongoing are less because of the small size. Reason number 6, these houses were well constructed. I have bought dozens of these houses, and most of them are in really good condition when it comes to the bones of the house. In fact, most of them were built with real 2x4s, 2 inches by 4 inches, not 1.5 by 3.5. And they are really sturdy houses. In fact, most of them have hardwoods. A lot of times it's buried under carpet, but there are real hardwood floors in there. So you can find these houses that are really structurally sound, and they don't need a whole lot of repairs as far as structurally. They just need some cosmetic updates and sometimes a little electrical and plumbing up. Reason number 7, these houses can bulletproof your portfolio. And what do I mean by that? Well, here we sit in March of 2020. I'm quarantined because of a worldwide pandemic. And so I'm sitting here in my house making this video, and we don't know what's going to happen next. Everything's getting shut down. But I can tell you that I do think that some of my tenants are probably going to get laid off or lose their jobs. And in the next month or two, we're going to see some people not being able to pay the rent or getting behind on their rent. And for me, not having a mortgage is going to be a big advantage over someone who does have a mortgage. My back's not going to be up against the wall. I have the ability to show grace to these people, to work out payment plans, maybe waive late fees or reduce my rent if I have to. I have a lot of flexibility in how I can run my business because I don't have mortgages and I'm not heavily leveraged. I have to pay taxes and insurance, which are due once a year. So I'm not in a bind right now. So understand, those are the things that help you. Now we have some bigger properties, we have some multifamily, and we have a house or two that we have a mortgage on, but not everything we have is like that. Most of them are small houses with no mortgage. And so even if you have a mix, it's going to help stabilize and help your portfolio be more bulletproof. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button. And if you'd like to see more, subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to hit the bell for notifications so you know when we release new videos. And if you'd like more information on real estate investing, go to retirerichwithrealestate.com. Until next time, I'm Paul Price, teaching you how to retire rich with real estate.